Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Arshad Iqbal. I'm working as an assistant professor with Sino-Park Center for Artificial Intelligence. It is a center located in Park Ashte Institute of Applied Sciences and Technology, Mang KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. The topic of this webinar is Artificial Intelligence of Things, when AI meets the Internet of Things. Let me start with a brief introduction of myself. Uh, I'm associated here in Sino-Park Center for AI since January 21, where I am linked or associated with two labs, Intelligence Field Robotics and Internet of Things Lab. I have done my PhD from Sankyung Khan University, SKKU, Suwon, South Korea in August 20, where I was associated with Network System Lab and my major is in electrical computer engineering. My research interests include wireless communication network and networks, Internet of Things, medium access control and resource allocation, applied AI, power saving, and wireless energy harvesting networks. So let's start with what is Internet of Things. As you may know, Internet of Things is the network of physical objects or things uh, which are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies. And the aim is to connecting numerous devices for connectivity and exchanging data over internet. If you could see on the right of the screen, there is a kind of graphics which shows Internet of Things. There are multiple devices connected to internet, which contains smartphones, a washing machine, healthcare, uh, and mobile phone, home, and other nodes or devices. Here, and in this network, there is another IoT network, which shows the connectivity of different things, including airplane, vehicles, and house. So here is an example of IoT system. It basically consists of three sections. One is data collection, another is collate and transfer data, and the other one is data analysis and actions. If you could see in the figure, there are given some information about devices, services, hub, gateway, and analytics. So data collection usually consists of IoT devices which contains sensors, microcontrollers, Raspberry Pi, etc. While IoT services would be communication through antennas. And collate and transfer data section actually is the IoT hub and gateway, which provide a mechanism to connect the user interface and the IoT network, IoT on the network on the north side. And data analysis actually provide a user interface, business analytics about the installed network and the backend systems. So how big is the IoT market? So if there are certain surveys and reports presented, like for example, one report is presented by HP, which says that expected number of connected devices in 25 would be 1 trillion, uh, quite a big market, and and another report presented by GSMA that 37% of IoT share is smart appliances. Where if you could see on the right of the screen, there is some kind of plots or figures which says that smart energy meters have a share of 25%, while wearable devices, connected cars, smart healthcare devices have a share of 13, 10, and 10% respectively. So this shows the importance of IoT in the world. Uh, if we see a report regarding the value of IoT, so it says that IoT will generate 14.4 trillion in value across all industries in the next decade, presented by in a report of Cisco. So we can say that IoT is everywhere. So if you could see in this figure, there are different layers, starting from wearables, connected cars, connected homes, connected cities, and connected various facilities like industrial, internet, transportation, oil and gas, and healthcare. So basically, it could be divided into smart agriculture, smart industries, smart cities, smart homes, and smart healthcare. Smart agriculture actually is the name to the usage of technologies like IoT, GPS, robots, and AI on your farm to improve the products. While smart industry is which is actually the industrial internet of things, which provide connectivity and enhance the production of the industry. While and smart cities actually the aim is to use technology to do efficient operation. Smart homes actually provide connected and controlled appliances, while smart healthcare provides wearables and remote health monitoring. Smart agriculture. Smart agriculture actually is the monitoring of climate conditions, greenhouse automation, crop management, cattle monitoring and management, precision farming, agricultural drones, predictive analytics for smart farming, end-to-end farm management. So if you could see these graphics, there is a person, a farmer, has a smartphone which sees the environment and the analytics provided by the AI system, and based on that, the system controls the water management system, and that's how the the crops are provided with water and additional required materials. Then it comes smart industry. So if you could see the industrial revolution, so it started from Industry 1.0, that is 1765, which contains steam engine. So if you could see these graphics, there is some kind of mechanism shown which are provided in Industry 1.0, 1.0, and then started after almost 100 year Industry 2.0, which is basically consists of electricity, gas, and oil, and it comes after 100 years the Industry 3.0, which consists of PLCs and robots. If you could see these graphics, you can understand that PLC is in working, and then Industry 4.0 comes, which is basically to get services of technologies, IoTs, and AI to enhance the industrial production and make the things easy to go with. Smart industry or industry 4.0 is actually consists of many technologies. It consists of IoTs, industrial IoTs, cyber physical system, because when internet comes, then the cyber physical system actually make, and there is cyber security as the need of the system. And then robotics comes. We know industry use many kind of robots for their production and control activities. And then smart manufacture, smart factories, cloud computing, cognitive computing, and AI. So if you could see this graphics, so the aim is creating smart machine and smarter workforce. And if you could see this dashboard, which provides some analytics. So analytic is provided through an AI mechanism. So this is all about smart industry. In smart cities. So along IoT, smart cities requires different technologies like application programming interfaces, AI, cloud computing services for the internet connectivity and data analysis, dashboards which provide data analytics, machine learning which gives algorithms on the data being saved to give some meaningful information, and machine-to-machine communication required in smart cities, and then mesh networks, which provide network connectivity for communication and sharing information. So then we see application in smart homes. So if actually smart home is to provide home appliances are controlled and connected for monitoring and control and optimization of spending, environmental impact, and enhanced security. So if you could see different graphs provided here, here is a kitchen which consists of digital devices which provide different user interfaces and easy to use access. And if you could see another this graph, which actually gives a refrigerator or fridge give the information of what is running out. For example, running out of milk, you have 3 eggs left, and this kind of information. And this fridge is actually connected to a superstore. So this is actually smart homes, which is an application of Internet of Things. Smart. This here is another application, smart healthcare. So actually, smart healthcare is to provide remote health monitoring and telehealth. And aim is to provide connected and smart hospital, which have a broad range of application, patient-generated health data, chronic disease management, preventive care, short-term care, and home-based care. So if you could see in the graphics, a two-person doing some exercise, but there is data is being monitored and the information is shared with the user. In another graphics in the right down side, you could see a dashboard where the information of patient is given. Rebecca Rowe, a patient name, which has which has information of blood pressure, oxygen level, allergies, temperature, and heart rate. And the information is provided with the along with the previous information. And all these activities is monitored by wearable devices. So this is smart healthcare and application of Internet of Things. So there are some certain challenges of devices living in the Internet of Things, like the latency and the connectivity and the expensive bandwidth. And it is limited to what is on the devices unless you write or program the device again. Uh, and the programming and updating embedded software needs specialized skills. So there are some kind of challenges in the IoT devices. One of the big challenges with the IoT is to collect data, analyze data, and act on the data. So data from different devices to generate insights. So when we say generate insights, here it comes artificial intelligence. IoT and associate technologies. So we can link IoT with different technologies like cloud computing, 5G, big data, and artificial intelligence. So cloud computing actually is the delivery of different services through the internet, like data storage, servers, databases, networking, and software. While 5G is the fifth generation of cellular networks, which is 100 times faster than 4G, and creating new opportunities for people and businesses. Big data actually is the deal with large sum of data to analyze large sum of data to extract meaningful information, which is otherwise not possible with their traditional or existing data processing software. Artificial intelligence is actually intelligence demonstrated by machines as opposed to the natural intelligence displayed by human or animals. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the intelligence demonstrated by machine. Why AI leverages machines to mimic those problem solving and decision making capabilities of the human mind. So if you could see these infographics. So on the right there is a machine based on AI or machine learning, which classify objects like into cat or dog. So there are some pictures given to this device, and this device actually classified this into cat. Either it is a cat or either it is a dog. On the left side, we can see that there is a robot which actually classify different pattern from triangle, rectangle, or circle. So this is an example of AI with some infographics. So the convergence of AI and IoT. So AI plus IoT actually gives superpowers of innovation. As we see that IoT devices use the internet to communicate, collect, and exchange information about our online activities. So in a report, it is said that every day they generate 1 billion GB of data. That's where artificial intelligence steps in, and the information is needed to be provided by the artificial intelligence. And lending its learning capabilities to the connectivity of the Internet of Things. So the untapped potential of AI in IoT, if we compare today with different categories with tomorrow, like for example, edge computing, which provide today, it provides smart thermostats, smart appliances. So tomorrow it will provide home robots, autonomous vehicles, and like voice AI. So today it provides smart speaker, and tomorrow it will provide natural language processing, e-payment, voice authentication. And then vision AI, massive object detection. Like today it's provide massive object detection, tomorrow it will provide video analytics on the edge, super 8K resolution. So AI and IoT implementation. So it actually it provides ambient intelligence where of mesh networks, information flow, and decisions stay local, and it provides IoT analytics like big data, use case scenario. So it consists of basically IoT analytics, different interfaces, cloud decision engine, and then action based on the data. So if you could see this figure, there is IoT-based system where data is processing, and then information is on the already information stored in a big data storage, and the information store are then being analyzed, and some advanced analytic is generated, and based on the data, predictive analytic is also provided, which based on this decision would be taken, keeping the perspective of future. AIoT network system examples, how AIoT system works. So actually systems are connected through internet, and data is saved in a cloud server. And the data which is being generated or processed, that is analyzed, and some information is extracted from these data. So for example, there is sensor on a truck, which contains some kind of Raspberry Pi, and which generates some data, and that is shared in a cloud server with internet, and the data is being analyzed and shown on admin dashboard. And here in this example, data is generated through drones and various sensors, and a user can see the analytics on the screen in the factory. So let's go with some case scenarios. So there is port AIoT system. So port IoT is actually to gives connectivity and to the port system. So if you could see in the left, there is some kind of network shown related to port industry. So there is some kind of smart labels which storage condition monitoring and control, inventory tracking and analysis, predictive maintenance, cargo integrity monitoring, optimize warehouse workloads, real-time fleet management. So the main win of this is Spot is capable of higher throughput, less cost per container, more competitive than rival ports, and more tax income. And then on the right, if you see, there is auto route suggestion through an AI algorithms, automation of hub operation through RFIDs, and AI suggests some space allocation for the this package, some kind of augmented reality based checking of the packages, and real-time logistic marketplace and blockchain technology. So there is an IoT example which called helmet concussion sensor. So it is based on some sensor, and we provide wireless connectivity to a smartphone, like wireless hit impact sensor sends alerts direct to your smartphone when a hit is too hard. Long range Bluetooth connects to smartphone over 100-meter, always away inside arena, and the battery life is quite reasonable, and it fits on all sides of hockey helmet with high bonding adhesive type. Hockey player use helmets, and there is an application connected with this helmet, so to provide user interface to the user. Here is another example which called Kinsa thermometer. It is actually a thermometer which uses your age, fever, and symptoms to help you understand when and how to soothe symptoms, take medicine, or call the doctor. So the purpose is to monitoring your temperature and can call your doctor as necessary. So there is, for example, this kid, Sam, which has some kind of fever, and some medicine, brufen medicine is suggested. And so if it needs, then it can call a doctor as well. And there is another Amazon Dash. Amazon actually provides some dashboard buttons, which is stick to the devices. For example, this Samsung refrigerator, there is some dashboards provided by Amazon. So if there is something empty in the refrigerator, just press the button and Amazon will be alerted with the demand of the user, and that product will be delivered to the user. So there is some kind of dashboards related to each items you can see in this figure. And this is also connected to some application based on some voice or utterances, like Alexa, show me my dashboards, which shows the dashboards required in the system. There is another case which called smart toothbrush. The name Beam Brush. The Beam Brush is a connected toothbrush that engages user with their daily hygiene routine. So it actually saves the data and share with the user with the help of an application, like what is your oral health, like 88%. If you need to see your teeth to your doctor, then it can suggest you that please visit to your doctor. Another example is smart egg tray. So it called egg mender, which syncs with your smartphone to tell you how many eggs you have got at home. So it can calculate up to 14 eggs and when they are going bad. So that's a kind of handy application. And there is another application or case which called Amazon Lex. Amazon Lex actually is based on speech recognition and natural language understanding. So when you say to Amazon Lex, what is the weather forecast? We have usually seen on our smartphone as well. There is some kind of application provided by Google and Apple. So this is like the same thing. What's the weather forecast? So the weather is forecasted and then reply to the user, it will be sunny in 25 degree. And there is another application or case studies that is called Amazon Poly. So it is based on human or natural language understanding. So if you say to this application, book a hotel in New York City, so it automatically extract and the information, and automatic speech recognition is used to extract this information, like book a hotel in New York City. And based on this information, natural language understanding is used, and hotel booking in New York City is being filtered. So based on this information, a hotel is booked in New York City, and can I go ahead with the booking? And I can, after receiving the confirmation, your hotel is booked for November 30th by the Poly, and a user is informed like your hotel is booked for November 30th. So there are certain business and startup opportunities in AIoT or IoT, like connected and controlled cars, so territory monitoring and surveillance, medical sphere, customer appliances, fitness sphere, smart cities sphere, toys, and industrial sphere. There are big chances to start your own business or provide some services to the user based on IoT and artificial intelligence. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your time. If you have any question or comment, you are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arshad, for your presentation. I think we have now questions. So I will ask Dr. Ihtisham to please moderate the session regarding questions.
Thank you, Dr. Suhail. Muhammad Amir Khan, you can please ask your question.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay, thank you. It was a very good talk. Yeah, thanks for giving us this talk. Right, it was good. Uh, but I was looking for something like where we can actually make some kind of more difference in using these IoTs, because I have had one paper on IoTs about weather forecast, and currently air quality is one of the biggest issue here that we face, because most of the electricity that we generate is from coal or some other bio fuels, right? So air quality in cities in Europe, that's a big issue, and there are a lot of startups that are monitoring it. So I did some work on sensors that are spread across an area, which gather information like temperature, pressure, lax, and stuff like and humidity. Yeah. So these were 5, 6 parameters. So what way I was looking in this talk, that if you can, since you have a degree in this field and also some experience, so can you a little bit elaborate uh, how we can like glue these things? Because you talk about a number of different things, like we can use it here, we can use it there, but how can we glue it, like for example, in form of a pipeline maybe? Like, some, because it's about AI, so the machine learning part, or that where the devices would be intelligent, that is kind of like missing in this picture. So if you can throw some light on that, or at least point to me or the rest of the audience in the direction that we can look for ourselves, how to glue that ML part in this whole system. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. I understand your question. So there are two parts. One is the Internet of Things part, and the other part is machine learning or artificial intelligence thing part. So for example, you have already installed your network, which collects some information from the air, like temperature, humidity, or maybe smoke size. So there are some kind of information which you can collect from this sensor. So once you have collected some data, so based on that data, you can apply machine learning algorithms, and you can classify different different the condition of air or condition of air, and classify into different section. Or based on this information, you can provide use machine learning or AI algorithms to do some predictive analysis. So for example, you have data of full day, so you can monitor the air from morning to next morning, and there are different condition, and the air quality changes with time, and the usage of the activities of people. So based on that, you can use some kind of predictive analytics, like for example, what will be the air condition in next hour, because the condition or the condition of the society is same, like in a area. Like for example, there are factories, there are cities, and which provides pollution. So if we see from morning to night, the condition remains same. So based on this information, we can use some machine learning algorithms to get some information, and we can say that in the next hour, the air quality or the environment would be like that. So I think we can do machine learning and this air quality monitoring system together, glue together like that.
Yeah, yeah. Can I ask a follow-up question, or that's
Yeah,
enough?
sure.
Okay. So, yeah, that's like the more classical way of approaching the problem, that you get all the data, you put it into some centralized server, then you do training, testing, and validation, and then you have a model which is have some good accuracy or something, and then you deploy the model. The thing is that when you have such a data and that's distributed across such a like a very huge area, going centralized is not like the very optimal way. There are, like, for example, about TensorFlow, but there is another thing called TensorFlow Lite, or ML Cafe, which provide more mobile and machine learning capabilities for low processing power devices, right? So when it comes to that, because I understand you talk about this, but that's a very classical approach of centralized thing, training, testing, and all that pipeline, and we can glue it to the data. But again, it involves latency. You will go and you will come back, and all that stuff. My point was that is in your literature review or in your site, have you ever seen something which is like more like on-device training testing and like something that we deliver right on the spot? Because when it comes to weather, the weather it's like it have seasonal changes and climate changes, which kind of like changes in a higher period, like in months. In days also it changes during day and night. There is temperature difference, but there is a seasonal difference as well. So it's like, I would say it's like a trivial one. But when you talk about, like, for example, on home support for health. So there are people who really are on life support in homes, and they have some devices, right? And these IoT devices, they are not that powerful. They're not like laptop or computers. So how would we do something with these low power devices and to have the ML in there?
Yeah, actually, your question is quite interesting. If you could do that on real time, so if I can understand your question clearly. So on one answer to that question is the edge computing or fog computing, which actually we can install on that kind of scenario, and on real time basis, the edge nodes can decide based on the information. So the latency problem could be solved based on the local decision. And another thing is kind of, we have another machine learning algorithm if you have come with, that is reinforcement learning. So if we could place such kind of robots which can learn from that problem on real time basis and react to that problem instantly based on the experience and the learning based on reward and some punishment. So that's I think one way we can approach to this problem. And I think it's a kind of valid question. The classical way is to save the data and use the machine learning algorithms, and then based on this information generate some graphs and that. And but the real problem is the implementation. So one way is to use reinforcement kind of algorithms which actually instantly react to the problem. And another solution is to install some kind of edge computing nodes to the system area. And edge computing nodes is quite powerful compared to the sensor nodes. So it can be used and irrespective of the computational power. So I think we can reach to this problem, the solution to this problem this way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for such a nice comment and discussion.
Thank you, Muhammad Amir Khan, for your comments and questions. I will now proceed towards Muhammad Muzammil. Kindly, you can ask your question. If you have any comment, you can share, please.
Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed.
Thank you for your talk, doctor. I have a question. There are two parts in the presentation. One is IoT and then is AI and the merging of both the technologies. I was wondering if the AI part can help in coping the challenges of IoT, like the heterogeneity. Uh, will it help the AI part will help in coping the challenges of IoT itself, or it will only help out in the decision making, like as you said, saving of data and then deciding by the machine learning algorithm. For example, in IoT, the heterogeneity is a challenging part, like different devices are connected. So this AI part will help out in deciding or and easing the whole process. And another thing is about the security. Will the AI part also help out in the securing the whole AIoT network? Thank you. If you can understand my question.
Thank you for your nice questions. It's quite a nice question. Yeah, heterogeneity is one of the big issue in actually in IoT network. So, and then there comes the compatibility issues of nodes. So We can use AI like for like if there are two devices and they are not compatible directly. So we can use AI on the incompatible nodes to make it compatible. For example, if a node shares some information with another node and that information is not compatible with that node, so the received node would be passed through machine learning algorithms and information would be extracted directly from that information. And based on that information received from the algorithms would be usable to the node incompatible with the other node. So I think the heterogeneity issue would be resolved like that. Like we could use, for example, there are different layers, communication layers. If we could apply that on some kind of data link layer or kind of network layer, and when information is received to the node, then as it received, first use machine learning algorithms and extract information meaningful to that node. So I think heterogeneity problem would be solved that way. And another problem is the security related to IoT. Yeah, security is quite big issue when there comes Internet of Things. So there is a concept in machine learning that is called encoding. So if we use encoding concept of machine learning, we can secure the information flow, or we can secure the Internet of Things nodes. And encryption technique, I think there are certain machine learning based encryption technique which could be used and the information would be secure. I hope that's answered your question. If you have follow-up question, please
Great.
proceed with that.
This AI merging of AI would also come out with more challenges like the data processing and the storage and the consumption of energy. How these challenges then will be tackled for real-time implementation of this concept?
Actually, storage is, in my opinion, storage is not a big problem because there is a cloud server, so you can use, and there are cloud services openly available. So you can use cloud services in a USB of like 1 TB or 500 GB is easily available. So that is just an example. So in my opinion, storage is not a big problem in such era. Then energy problem, yeah, that's a kind of big issue because AI needs some kind of computational power, and when we say computational power, so it directly means energy or energy usage. So that is a quite challenging issue, and we need some kind of research in that area. So for and like for that, we may need some kind of intermediate high performance node which do all kind of calculation, and the burden on the in node would be decreased. So I think we can cope with the energy problem that way.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Muhammad Muzammil, for your questions. Do we have more questions from the audience? If any one of you want to ask something or want to comment or give feedback about this webinar, please do share.
Yes, please. I can see Bilal Aurangzeb Khan raise his hand.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Are you hearing me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, basically the question related to, I was just a few days before, I was just reading a startup article. It was related to providing cycling services to the citizen in public sectors. It was the different public sectors in order to enhance the quality and to catch the citizen to use their cycling services. They were providing discounts and free tickets on the basis when they were using e-health technology. When one of the citizens used to do 1 to 2 minute exercise, they generate discount and or may give free ticket depend on the quality quantity of how much they do exercise. Secondly, in order to overcome pollution, they were using the procedure like getting plastic, how much quantity the citizen used to give on the basis of plastic quantity. They were generating discounts and free ticket. Sir, basically the question is how they are using artificial intelligence, IoT or machine learning, how they are interconnected with each other in this process. Secondly, uh, or they are using any application or software for this purpose.
Actually, your voice is not that much clear. So, but I guess there was the question is related to some kind of network, cycling network, right?
Yes, sir.
There is a kind of such kind of network consist of cycles, and then there was some mechanism of I couldn't understand your question actually clearly. So then you have said some mechanism which generates some kind of financial assistance. So I couldn't understand that thing. So if you give some clear question, then I can answer surely. So the question
May I
is,
repeat, sir?
yeah, why not? Please.
Sir, it was like the startup based on cycling services in public sector. The when citizen come to the cycling services, or they used to do exercise for 1 to 2 minutes. On the basis of exercise, the
Okay.
company will generate them discount or free tickets. Secondly,
Okay.
if to overcome pollution, like plastic, they have some kind of recycling machine. The citizen used to come and put plastic in that machine, and they automatically gain some discount and like a free ticket. Sir, I was just asking that what process may be considered for this process.
Okay, so you have actually two kind of question. One is there is a kind of exercise machine which urge the people to come and do some exercise, and when they do exercise, the government do some the company gives some kind of points or kind of cash. And another question is there is some kind of plastic based bottles or and that is being recycled, and they give some kind of money back. So in my opinion, that's a kind of mechanism provided by the government for awareness of the people, so to like aware them for exercises and for their good health and for avoiding pollution of the plastic bottles. So how we can use AI in this system, or how they
Yes, sir.
use AI in that system, that is actually the case question. So actually I have not
Yes, sir.
seen the system, but maybe that exercise generates some kind of power, or maybe there is some kind of electromechanical or mechano-electrical system. If mechanical thing is operated, then some kind of electricity is generated behind that system. So maybe that's a kind of generation thing. And another thing is like for example, a recycling mechanism. So actually the recyclers are robots. So robots could be made intelligent based on reinforcement learning, because uh, when something is thrown in the robot or in the machine, so the robots can learn that we need that much power based on the receive item to run our machine. And I think we here there we can use some machine learning algorithm based on the item being thrown in the machine. So the machine can learn which item is thrown, and based on that thing, the machine can run their like cycles or their duration. So I think we can use, or they have used that kind of AI mechanism in the robots. I hope that answered your question.
Sir, can I ask questions
Yeah,
again?
please. Yeah, please.
Sir, sir, it was like if somebody do exercise for 2 minutes, I was asking that how camera or any machine will get that this person had done exercise for 2 minutes. So now we can
Okay. So, yeah, I understand your question. So there would be camera installed in the system somewhere, which will do some video analytics or image analytics, and based on that, I think they will generate some kind of duration, and which calculate the duration of the people, or maybe there is some mechanism in the cycle of the exercise. So since I have not seen that machine myself and I have not studied that, so I think I cannot answer your question clearly as per you have seen the robots or the machine yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes. Any other follow-up question? Any
Uh,
other comment or question? We have
Assalamu
still
alaikum.
time. Yes, walaikum salam.
My name is Hafsa. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, my question is related to smart agriculture. I have just graduated and I'm working on an application. I'm working to develop a smart application regarding soil. It's a soil identification system. Um so my question is about the smart agriculture case. How does it works? And it works with the help of a drone. It captures the whole field and then collects the data. How does it works? Because it is related to my solution I'm developing, so I would really much like to know how does it work, and if it relates to my
Okay, so
solution, I can
Okay,
work on
so
it.
you are working on some agricultural network which is based to collect some information from soil. So the question is if you could use drones, so how it could collect data, right?
No, my question is about the smart agriculture case you shared in your presentation. How does that
Okay,
smart agriculture work?
so let me share that screen in. I think you are talking about this slide, right?
Yes, this one.
So this graphic, which in which our drone is used to monitor some agricultural land, right? So actually, drone is a part of network. So which take like for example, one thing drone has a camera which takes some picture and it collects video data, which images contains the information of the crop. If the color is different than the normal, then so actually drone just collect data, and then drone sends that data to some kind of a server, and the server is actually is connected to a dashboard, right? So
Okay.
the drone collect data from the field. So it could be like the drone could be connected to the sensors installed in the field, or it could take pictures, or it could take video. So there are different ways depending upon the need of the network, and that information is then saved in a cloud or in a server. And when we have much data means the data required for an algorithm to give some meaningful information, and based on that received data, the user or the engineer can apply some machine learning algorithms, and based on that some information could be extracted, and that information we can use some kind of predictive analytics to get some information about future, that how this crop or how this soil will react in the future.
So it
So
means this solution is not developed. It's just at an ideation stage yet, or it is developed already.
actually it is quietly developed in Europe and East Asian countries, but in Pakistan there are certain companies or startups which are making such kind of devices. But in Europe or America or East Asia, developed East Asia, they are using that kind of technology to monitor growth or kind of monitoring and controlling the network and install for monitoring crop. So actually drone can connect with the network installed on the field. So the network which is static and installed on the field to monitor different kind of plants, and that data is actually received by drone when drone go to that, and that is wirelessly connected to the then that network, and it collect data, and then drone could act as a relay which relay that information to a server. So it works like that way, but it exists actually. That's not a thing which is kind of like just graphically or historically.
Okay. I have another question.
Yes,
My other
please.
question is related to the same smart agriculture thing. I want to ask
Okay.
that I don't know if such solution is developed, but can we use AI and IoT to develop something for the protection for an artificial protection of crops, like in case of any in case of any insect attack on the crop.
Okay.
The application or the sensors detect that, and there is an artificial protection developed against to protect the crop. Is there anything that can be done, or using
Okay,
IoT
so
and AI?
you mean there is some kind of insects which are taken on some plant and that is damaged. So if we could use some kind of sensors to extract that images, and then we use some kind of AI algorithms to get some information, right?
Not information to get that information, and as a result develop or create an artificial protection type of shield around the crop.
Okay, so provide some kind of artificial or
Protection.
kind of required material to that plant, or kind of reaction to that disease. Yes, there are some kind of application available on App Store. If you take some picture from the I'm just giving one side of answer, then I will come to your next side question next side. So there are some kind of application available when you take pictures, so it can tell you that this plant has that disease. Okay, so there are applications are already available. So if you install some network and that network gets some information, so that information could be connected to that kind of application, and the application can give you some information about the disease. So your second part of the question is the reactive mechanism based on the information received. So the reactive mechanism or the shield mechanism for that plant, yes, like for example, in one sense, you can connect some kind of expert, or you can train a model which gives some kind of expert opinion about that problem, and based on that information, some kind of like urea or some kind of nitrogen oxide could be provided to that plant, which could be reactivate to the or re-alive to grow big. And regarding shielding mechanism, maybe there is some kind of robots installed in the farm, but that's a kind of complex mechanism, and the robots shield that plant with some kind of some kind of protection cover, and cover that plant, which saves it from being uh, being died.
Okay,
I
so
hope
that
that
means
answered
it
your
can be
question.
done regardless of the complexity.
Yes,
So
there
it
are complexity, but the field is open to research and to work.
okay.
Thank you
Okay.
for your question.
Okay, thank you
If you
so
have
much,
any
sir.
question, then you welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question or comment?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Richard, for your feedbacks to the audience. If we have no more questions, then I would like to thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Your questions, comments, and feedback was very useful. The recording of the session can be obtained from SPC AI website, and it will be available in a day. So you can download the presentation slide as well as the video recording from our website. So if you have any further query, you can write me an email at any time. I'm Dr. Etisham. You might have received a confirmation email from my side as well regarding this webinar. So thank you very much for joining. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you all for your time and for your patience. You can also contact me on the given email if you have any query regarding this talk or maybe future collaboration and discussion. Thank you very much.